I'll be analyzing Ceremony by Leslie Marmon Silko through the ethnic lens. In the story, the main character, Tayo, has an internalized racism which reveals how society mistreats minorities through misinformation and violence. In order to fix this problem, any informative system can be properly informed to avoid racial discrimination. What is it? Why are you crying? Stated Tayo. The end of the story. They want to change it. They want it to end here. The way all their stories end, encircling slowly to choke the life away. The violence of the struggle excites them, and the killing soothes them. Tisha begins to cry after her and Tayo start a fire. She cries because she knows whites end all great and balanced things. She knows whites want to control and destroy things. This quote shows how society is currently run. It shows how whites, mainly white males, run society and how minorities feel like they are being strangled by their dominance. The next quote. He was thinking about the cattle and how they had ended up on Floyd Lee's land. It had seen the cattle on land grant or in some coma squirrel. He wouldn't have hesitated to say stolen. Something inside him made him hesitate to say it now, that the cattle were on a white man's ranch. He had a crazy desire to believe that there had been a mistake, that Floyd Lee had gotten them innocently, maybe buying them off from real thieves. Why did he hesitate to accuse a white man of stealing, but not a Mexican or an Indian? He knew that he had learned the lie by heart, the lie which they wanted him to learn. Only brown-skinned people were thieves. White people didn't steal because they always had the money to buy whatever they wanted. While looking for his cattle, Tayo finds them at a white man's ranch. Initially, he doesn't want to believe that a white man stole them. He knows he wouldn't hesitate to label them as stolen if they were on a land grant land or a coma squirrel. He also wouldn't have hesitated to accuse other minorities, but not whites. He himself didn't know why, until he realized that he had been believing the lies that whites have taught him. Only dark-skinned people steal and are criminals. This shows how the current education system has been set up to further help advance whites and are criminals. This while continuing to beat down minorities, the current educational system has allowed for further racism in the form of stereotypes and to be spread throughout the people in many races. As such, internalized racism has become a norm instead of a problem. It connects back to the theme because due to misinformation, stereotypes have arisen on certain races, which lead to an increase of internalized racism in minorities. Another event during the story talks about how cattle have been gathered from all over the place and how they are going south. They are then confined in a ranch that uses wired and electric fences to keep things out and inside. The quote shows how society has been formed, created to restrain those within. The cattle being confined to a certain area show how they are being bred and controlled to think that they can only go so far. The cattle represent how minorities are seen by whites, animals that can be bred and controlled to help them further advance in their own selfish desires. Such a society allows for people to look future unaware of obstacles in front of them. In the end, society's grasp on minorities reveals itself and beats them back into reality. It shows how violence has been used to make minorities believe they can only go so far in life. It connects back to the theme because it shows how violence is used to create a society where only those of light-colored skin can succeed, which leads to those of dark-colored skin to blame themselves for being themselves, which is internalized racism. The main theme of the story is Tao's internalized racism reveals how society mistreats minorities through misinformation and violence. In order to fix this problem, any informative system be properly formed to avoid racial discrimination. This theme shows how race had a crucial role in the way Tao has lived his entire life.